In this vid, I'm going to be looking at a Zekrom variant deck by SickCustomController. While a lot of Zekrom variants are pairing Tornadus with Yanmega, I didn't have a deck list to review of that. His list, especially after my suggestions, can easily be changed to a Zekrom Tornadus deck. You pretty much just drop the 7 cards that comprise the Yanmega line, add in 4 Tornadus, and then the extra 3 cards you can use for extra trainers and supporters, or whatever works for you in the deck. So I'm hoping that this review is still going to be helpful for Zekrom players that are looking to play a Zekrom deck at Regionals. And I know I'm really cutting this close with Regionals being this weekend. I had really hoped that I was going to be able to do a lot more earlier, but with school this is just how it worked out. Even so, I hope it can be some help, and I hope everyone enjoys it. You have 2 Cleffa as your starting Pokemon, but since you really only need Cleffa in case you need a new hand, or in case you need to stall for a little while, I think you can safely reduce this down to 1 to give you a little bit more room in the deck. A lot of Zekrom variants decide to partner Zekrom with Tornadus. This allows them to attack with Tornadus, but then still power up Zekrom at the same time. Instead, you go with a line of Yanmega Prime. This is a good idea since Yanmega can be brought out really fast and snipe for early prizes, as well as give you a little bit of a late game. I would add 1 more basic Yanma to the deck, just in case a Yanma is brought up early with Catcher and knocked out, as well as Yanma is a great starting Pokemon since it has a free retreat. Your strongest attacker is Zekrom. You run 4 of them, which I think is a great idea, and then your techs to go along with Zekrom are Shaman and Pachirisu. Pachirisu allows you to attach 2 more energy from your hand when you play it on the bench, and Shaman allows you to move your energy around as needed to power up Zekrom really fast. However, with the combination of Seeker and Super Scoop Up, you can safely reduce these lines down to 2 Pachirisu and 2 Shaman. That way you have a little more bench space for your Zekroms and Yanmegas. Right now you have a total of 19 energy in the deck, which I think can be greatly reduced. You definitely want a large amount of lightning energy in your hand at all times so that you can use Pachirisu, but you don't need as many of the grass and the rescue energy. I would take out the grass energy completely since you can always rely on Yanmega Prime's Pokebody Insight to be able to attack without any energy costs. I might increase your lightning to 12 and reduce your rescue to 2. That way you can still utilize your rescue energy, but you have a higher chance of having that lightning in your hand to be able to use with Pachirisu. With Zekrom variants, there's a little bit of debate as to whether to go with a 4 collector or 4 dual ball or a combination of the 2. Right now you have 3 collector, and while my personal preference is just to go with 4 collector, if you don't have a 4th collector, I would definitely add in 1 or 2 dual ball. This isn't a deck that should need to utilize twins, because your Yanmega should be able to get you moving pretty fast, as well as your Zekrom line since they're all basic Pokemon. If you were to add in any card that would work only when you're behind, I would add in 1 Black Belt. Black Belt will allow you to one-shot a Gothitelle and rid you of the trainer lock. Since you run Yanmega Prime, I would increase your judges to a maximum of 4. Not only is that going to allow you to have the same hand size as your opponent, but can also disrupt your opponent by making them shuffle in and draw a new hand. Instead of going with 4 Professor Oak's New Theory, I would change that to either a combination of Professor Oak's New Theory and Copycat, or just run straight Copycat. Again, this is so that you can utilize Yanmega Prime's Pokebody Insight and match your opponent's hand size for an attack with no energy cost. The biggest trainer that I think you need to add to this deck is Pokemon Catcher. Adding in 2 or 3 catchers and maxing out your junk arms to 4 will allow you to have access to 1 pretty much throughout the game. Since Zekrom only has a retreat cost of 2, I think you can safely go down to only 1 switch. I think you can also safely reduce your number of plus power in the deck, and the biggest reason I suggest that is because when you use plus power and Zekrom's Bolt Strike, you're going to be doing additional damage to yourself as well as to your opponent. I would also consider adding in a couple of Defender, just in case you don't want to do as much damage to yourself with Zekrom's Bolt Strike. The only other suggestion I have is for a little bit of recovery. I would either go with 1 Flower Shop Girl in order to put energy and Pokemon back in your deck, or 1 Energy Retrieval to allow you to take 2 energy cards and put them straight in your hand. That will ensure that you have the energy in your hand to be able to attach when you use your Pachirisu. The biggest addition that needs to be in this deck is cards to reuse the cards that you have in play. That means a combination of Seeker and Super Scoop Up. Whichever one you decide to go with, or a combination of both, really depends on your personal preference. Super Scoop Up is flippy, but you can reuse it, especially with Junk Arm. Seeker is guaranteed, but this could also help out your opponent by picking up a damaged Pokemon from their bench, and it uses your supporter for the turn. Either way, I would suggest you use a combination of 4 Seeker and Super Scoop Ups, and have at least 1 or 2 Super Scoop Ups, because you can always reutilize them with Junk Arm if you flip tails. Those are all of the suggestions I have. If anyone else would like their deck reviewed, just PM me the list and let me know whether you'd like to be considered for a video review, which can take several weeks up to several months, or if you'd like quicker feedback via a blog review, which I can get done in about a week. Thanks for watching!